be doing a product review over the Athern Blue Box -9. Let's get right into this. Now, the Athern Blue Box style of locomotives, or not style, Blue Box locomotives are not the nicest, they're not the newest, they're not the most detailed, they don't have everything, that's for sure. But they can still look good even compared to locomotives today, model railroad locomotives today. I would recommend just using them as dummies because they can look nice. But we're going to get right into this one. This is going to be a product review, so let's take a look at what makes them different from newer models and if they still can be competitive with newer models. Let's get right in. Alright guys, so here we are at the front of the locomotives. We have a Union Pacific version and a Southern Pacific version. Now, as you can tell here on the Southern Pacific version, does not have ditch lights, which the ditch lights there and there are, I don't think the Southern Pacific ever had those. The Southern Pacific version also, this one does not have a plow. As you can see, they don't have any MU hoses or cables at the front, that's not me as it shows. They're not as detailed. Also, the Union Pacific doesn't even have number plates above the cab. The Southern Pacific does, but let's see if it will focus. Yeah, you can't even see because it doesn't say anything. It's just little pieces of glass or something. Sorry guys, I have a cold. Up here on the hood, there's no details at all except for these little cap things, which I honestly don't know what they are. Sorry about that. An SP model does have little grab irons there. The Union Pacific version does not. So I'm talking about these ones right there. And then of course they have the door, headlight. Sorry, I'm looking through my phone to get to the details. Basic handrails, grab irons, that sort of stuff. Pretty basic at the front. No, the Southern Pacific doesn't have the number boards right here and there like the Union Pacific version does. I'm not sure if that was a road-specific detail or it's just not on this model. So that about does it for the front. Also, these locomotives do have different couplers. I think this is a Bachmann version, and this, I'm not sure what that is. But they're both newer version of couplers, so that's good. So let's move to the side. Alright, we're going to look at the side of the Union Pacific first. It's a pretty basic locomotive. We got, this one is missing the sunshade there. Little window, two big windows. Got the number plate. Road number, I mean. This is the air conditioning box, which on the AC 4400 is not there, which is the easiest way to tell them apart. But if you're on the opposite side, the fuel tanks look a little different. Down here we have the bell. The truck detail is actually fairly good for these old models. You can see the suspension and stuff. So that's nice. Fuel tank down there, grab iron. Pretty basic from the side. Yeah, the -9 is pretty basic locomotive from the side. All these details here seem to be they're basically molded in, but it still looks like nice, and it gives you can see it well, so it looks nice. Also on the top, we'll do the top since we're here. Also got the exhaust valve, the something R3 something horn, radiator fans. We'll move to the top real quick for the Union Pacific. Pretty basic. Not sure what those are. Just a basic little locomotive. Let's move to the side of the Southern Pacific. Essentially the same. We got these little boxes, things, vents, air conditioning box. Excuse me. These more vents. These two locomotives are essentially the same inside, except this is Southern Pacific with this. I don't even know what that's called, but it has that instead of Union Pacific. Grab irons, molded in details. One thing I do like is these little warning label things here are nice. Now here, let me check something real quick. One thing I do like about these locomotives a lot is if you check right here, they have the little GE badge and stuff. So it looks really nice. I'm gonna get it close. Yeah, it doesn't. You can't read anything, but it's still there. It's a nice little feature. Let's move to the back of the locomotives now. Now, by the way, just saying, the Southern Pacific is a lot lighter than the UP because it is a dummy, but yeah, I will have a running with these two locomotives soon of them together. So on the back, UP does not have any details. The Southern Pacific has the grab irons, and it even, my little toothpick, it even has one right there, which looks pretty nice. Pretty basic rear headlights. Down here, we got no details at all, just pretty flat. Same for the Union Pacific. Basic grab irons, stuff like that. Now, these are pretty basic locomotives, but I picked these up for both cheap. I just got the Southern Pacific one off of eBay for, I think it was $44, because people really wanted it because it was a dummy, and it's pretty hard to find online. I'm having a tough time finding old or high-end power dummy locomotives at this point, because if you want like a nice model like this SD70 ACE I have sitting over here as a dummy, you're gonna have to do it yourself. You can't. They don't make dummies anymore like that because back when these were being made, it was all DC and stuff, and they didn't have DCC and things. So it was, one control would control every train, but with DCC that makes everything different. So, but when I'm running DC power, I don't want to have to control or have. It's just I think you guys get what I'm trying to say here. But let's move. We've done basically essentially everything except for this side. It's a little different than the other due to the little air compressor things that help control the horn, air for the horn. So that will probably wrap it up for this video. I'll show a little quick run-by video with these two locomotives. But yeah, they're old, but I still find them of value. I like them both. So we'll get right into that. Also, before we get into that, motors, this one doesn't have one. I already said it's a dummy. This one has had it's a little heavier because its motor, it's been upgraded at House of Trains. They fixed this one. Also, I was talking about they were cheap. This one was $35. It works amazing. It can pull a lot. This one, yeah, dummy, so it's not meant to pull anything. Well, I'll show you guys the clip of them running now, and yeah, thank you for watching.